What is going on, guys? Joey Frenzel here with Flex Training Systems, and today, as you can tell by Russ's old intro, as he has a new, way better intro, we're doing Russ's meat breakdown. I figure I would just let the video kind of play as I establish what we're gonna do today in this video, and then I'm gonna pause it once we get around his lifts and kind of just break it down. That's Tina. How's it going, Tina? Alrighty, so as you can see in front of you, this is the Russ's meat recap video. If you guys want to see the full thing, you should head on over to his channel. You can watch it with music, with edits. I mean, obviously you guys are gonna see the edits here, but like the full his thoughts, kind of in the moment. Right now, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go through the meat. I'm gonna talk about each one of his lifts. I'm gonna talk about kind of a little bit of behind the scenes. As you know, what went on during his prep, leading up to the competition, some decisions that I made to bring up a lagging lift, and specifically the bench press. Also, if I sound kind of muffled, then just turn me up. I don't know what's going on with my OBS. I had to like recalibrate everything. So, alrighty. So we're warming up here. I guess I'll just pause it right here. Hold on, let me change it. There we go. So basically, how does the IPF Worlds work? It's like any other meet, except it's extremely organized. It's extremely fast. Fun fact for you guys: his entire meet was 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was 2 hours and 35 minutes. The time from his last squat to his first deadlift was like 80 minutes. It was like 79 minutes or something like that. That I don't know if you guys have ever done a meet that's that fast, but it's hell. It's really hard. And there were like some outside factors aside from training that I feel were kind of like affecting him. He'll tell you himself. So add that into the equation, and it just like literally, it did not put us in an advantageous position. For deadlifts, coming into the meet, like we both knew that Gibbs was stronger. Russ actually told this to me to my face when he was out here. We're at Zoo Culture. I remember exactly where we were, and he was like, "You know what? Like I know Gibbs is stronger than me, but we're gonna try." And you know that's really all you can do. You can only worry about yourself. You know, coming into these meets, everybody has different things going on. You know, some people have, I mean, only very few people have only training to worry about, and then other people have like a job, a family, you know, a bunch of other shit going on. People get sick, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna make excuses, but you know, during this prep, like whenever you don't have a result that you want, you kind of have to look at, okay, why did that happen? What happened to give us this result, which is like not the result that we want? There were a lot of positives from this prep as far as like a coach and like information that I want to gain, you know, to set him up for the future. There's a lot of stuff that happened during this prep that is great to see. One of those being he only hit, the highest he went in training was 625, like in the last like 10 weeks. And he ended up hitting, I think it was like just under 660. It was like 659 or something like that. So that was great to see. I mean, that's what you expect in a taper, but everybody's different. I've never seen him. Usually he'll hit something big in training, and he'll be good on the day. His squat actually was not that far off from what hit his best in the gym. So, you know, that's always a takeaway. But basically, you know, he started a business this prep. A lot of the like when he dropped those new Sasquatch socks, like I remember him like literally just packing and doing all that himself. You know, so running that, he moved, like moving is like brutal, you know, and all this was happening, you know, during a key time, like in training, right? It was like closer to Worlds, but I mean, like life is life. You got to do what you got to do. I don't think he let it affect training that much. There were a couple times when he did travel, and we had some important squats, and he was doing photo shoots. He was on his feet. so there was just a lot of other variables, and again, we're not making excuses. Like we have to live with the result. He left it all out there. He did everything that he could have done. Um, there's nothing from him that I want more. Like I can't say, hey, you should have tried harder here, or you should have done this. He literally did everything that he could. Coming into the meet, I mean, there was like, I mean, he'll own up to it too. Like there was a day where he was really bad with water, and it affected him. I don't think that happened too often, and having one or two bad days in prep is not the end of the world. But when you're trying to be like the absolute best that you can be, um, we gotta just like take care of all those little things, especially if it's within our control. The moving and all that stuff. I mean, that shit's gotta happen. Other things. I mean, it depends how extreme you want to get with it, but it depends, kind of like what's going on in your life at the time. Anyway, we coming up on the opening squat. I will say, his weight cut was really, really easy on him. He had, I think, more carbs the day before his weigh-in than he had ever had previously, to the best of my knowledge. He was able to gain his weight back, so as far as like weight cutting purposes, like the information that I got from this meet was great. It was like, man, I can only imagine if we would have applied this to like the Arnold, and I can see what's going to happen down the road. With his cut, maybe this will allow us to get slightly heavier. He actually made weight like literally like right on time. He woke up like a pound over and then just slowly started losing, but on the way to weigh in. But anyway, so like before we actually get into it, I knew he would be somewhere around 655 to 666, and then you kind of just wait on meet day to see what they have, right? So I can only put a lifter in a position to kind of, you get them close enough, and then meet day kind of like your prediction will either come true or not. But I think we had it down. Pretty much. And then in prep, the adjustments that we made to his squat was just to widen his stance out, turn his feet out a little bit. This is going to make his depth kind of undeniable. Like, depth is not going to be an issue for him. Like moving forward, I mean, this is IPF World, so if he's going to get anything called on him, it's going to be right now. So I'm going to shut up and let you guys watch the squat. Very nice. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen him move that much faster, but again, like I said, we're dealing with a lot of outside factors. And it was funny. I had a conversation with Brett's handler, who had like looked at every single one of every video that Russ had ever put out, and every Instagram post that Russ had ever made, and he like basically tried to predict where he thought Russ was going to end up. And like I had Russ, so back before the Arnold, before he hurt his back the first time. That was great. Hold on real quick. This actually to me looks a little bit better than the opener. I think that was 639, and that puts us in range for attempting the world record. Which he did get, which was broken immediately after, but he could say that he did it. But that was very, very fast. I want to watch it one more time. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. For those of you guys that don't know, I believe he had ACL surgery on this knee. So he wears one sleeve a little bit tighter than the other. That's also why I'm not really too worried about this being slightly in. I mean, I know how the ACL surgery works, and like I'm assuming they used a tether from either his hamstring or his patellar tendon or a cadaver, so it literally like attaches your femur to your like the top part of your leg to the bottom part of your leg, basically. So if there's any kind of difference in length, it might show. So I'm like really not too worried about it. But anyway, this is great. Chest up, boom, depth is nice. Bars bended on his back, get that nice little rebound, and he pops right up. So starting to come to life. The weight cut is starting to, the effects of the weight cut starting to wear off. So we got that. Sick edits. Shout out to Loaded Bar Collective. And I'm just in his ear here, telling him, hey, you know, everything you've got, this is going to be heavy. Really quickly before we actually get into what he lifts, or watching it. So when you go for a world record, you could attempt pretty much any number, right? Any number you could jump 1 kilo. Sorry about the updates that keep popping up. But yeah, you can pretty much jump to any number that you want. Um, it's very useful to have Matt and Susie there because they like they can remind me of these things, and they know, you know, they have more experience jumping like half a kilo, 1 full kilo, whatever. And I also actually learned that if two people attempt the same world record, the second person automatically gets bumped up above them by 0.5 kilos, which I did not like. You literally don't even put in the attempt; the system will just do it on its own, which is very interesting. Um, you know, if that person misses, I believe it just stays the same. But um, yeah, so we're trying to put as much weight as we possibly can on there. I thought like 7.5 was like, you know, kg was like the absolute amount, and then of course we get the extra chip for the world record, um, which is what you guys see right here. And this is like the big squat. Like if he didn't get this squat, and we're riding that line between, oh, real quick, like this number is like not an actual number that you can choose in a meet. That's the reason why it's like that. It's because it's, you know, it's a record attempt. But yeah, he needed to get this squat, absolutely. Again, like you have to have the balls to kind of like push for, um, you know, push for that big number without missing. Because if you miss, like if he misses here, we're gonna get like fourth or fifth. That was tough, but he's so strong that he can muscle it up. So really quickly, I remember in the moment I was telling him, "Yo, man, like you gotta stay tight, you gotta power this up, control that weight into the hole." That's why you guys see, if you guys look at his last video, I have him doing tempos, because we need to be able to control these weights into the hole. And I don't know if it was the lights or what, but once he got out there, he just kind of like some of that technique just kind of left. I mean, it is heavy, and you know the physics on an Alico bar are a little bit different than on a OPB. So I don't know if his body was just kind of like not prepared for, you know, what he was dealing with or what. But you know, I'm gonna let it roll here, and then I just want to watch it one more time. So he hits, and then his his left knee kind of goes in. Watching that from the front, I was like, oh shit, like, is he okay? Is that gonna hurt? I know that's happened to me in the past. Yeah, so we see that dip down. I think he just hit the hole a little too hard, lost tightness. Then he's gonna get that rebound to about right here. So this is his sticking point, right? This is where most people are gonna die. This is where most people are gonna fail. We're at IPF Worlds. You know, we're not gonna fucking like he's not gonna like leave the meet and be like, damn, I should have tried harder on that squat. Fuck that. He's gonna give it everything he got, and he literally just muscled this shit up right here. There we go. Man, like we needed that big time. We needed that big time. So, hype boys, very nice. I was so excited that we got that because we needed that. We absolutely needed that. If we didn't get that, pretty much a done deal. If you guys want to hear what he says, you know, go ahead and jump on over to his video. You guys can see the audio and stuff like that. So I'll just kind of let it roll while he talks with no sound. You guys can just imagine my voice coming out of his mouth now. But so now we got bench press, right? Again, I was happy with considering how prep went. I was happy with that squat. I was like, I mean, we could be happy, but obviously we're never complacent. We gotta improve on that. I don't know if I told you guys, if I actually mentioned the number, but Brett's handler was like, oh, I had you guys, like, based on your strongest in training, somewhere around 683, 688. That's exactly, like, literally I was thinking about 683 for Russ, for the Arnold, but then, you know, he strained his back, and then we had to, like, make some adjustments. Some keys right there with the Skittles. But yeah, it's just been, you know, trying to get his deadlift form down, keeping him healthy enough to where we can just train everything. You know, if we could just not get hurt, you know what I mean? It's not even like we're doing anything crazy. It's just, you know, his just a little bit of yanking on the deadlift bar, on that stiff bar, you know, is just gonna lead to like minor injuries, but they're never. It's just like a strain. It's never anything that we can't work around. Whenever you're pushing, like if Russ was injury, like he just couldn't get hurt, right? There's like no way Russ could get hurt. He would have a monster total right now, but it's, it shit happens. Like there's everything is there. Literally everything is there. We just need to have a prep where we don't strain anything, and we're looking to do that by making his back literal adamantium this next prep for nationals. So this prep, again, I was happy with the squat based on the prep. This bench, though he's opening near like his third attempt from previous meets, I knew his bench was going to be on point based on training, and I actually adjusted his split to bring up his bench press, and like on the day it definitely paid off. Very long holds at Worlds. They really make you hold it. That was like absolute air. He probably could have done 4 or 5 reps of that. So I think we jumped. I don't really remember what the red was for. I think it was for like his foot or something. But what did we jump to? Did we jump 7? Let me see. Yeah, we did jump 7. Okay, so 7.5 kg. I remember this guy, the handoff guy. I don't know where he was. We had to call him out. But anyway, bench is kind of like build a total, easy mode. It should be pretty easy to gauge. So I believe that's a meet PR for him by 2.5. And now we just want to add to the total. We already got the PR. We don't want to jump 2 because that's way too small. So we'll go 5. I think he probably could have gone another 7, but there'll be other times for that. Right now, like this was already a 7. Well, I'll just let it get there. It's already a 7.5 kilo PR, so we're good with that. Again, if we were gonna beat Gibbs, he needed to miss his third squat on depth, which Gibbs did get 1 red on his squat, but it is what it is. And right now, like the goal with bench is just to kind of maintain what you establish on squat, like into bench. For most people, if you bench 500 pounds almost like Gibbs does, then you can totally just gain a big lead from that. So 418 here, like I said, 7.5 kg PR. That was a pretty good pause command or press command, but again the holds were kind of long, so very nice there. Happy with that call. Big. If I hit 7.5 kg bench PR on me, I'm like, yo, let's go. But yeah, so he should be good with that. And then deadlift, kind of last minute. I don't really know exactly what happened or who got in his head or what, but he said that he made some last minute changes to kind of start with like a little bit higher hips. But literally, like I see his stuff on video, and it's kind of hard for me to really see what's going on. But in person, it was just like why is he starting with his hips so high? Something's going on here. He's like kind of like just using his back. I don't know. It was just different than what I had seen. Like this was not the same. This was not the same pull that I remember seeing from the Arnold and from Nationals. And I remember I didn't look at my phone because I was in the moment, but Sean was texting me saying, "Yo, like he's using his back, he's stiff legging it. He's got to start using his quads, da da da." And then once his opener, this is after his opener. Once his opener hit, so basically Susie, Hardwood, Gary, Sean, and myself, we all saw the same thing, but we all told each other like after the fact, like after the opener. I mean, you guys will see right here, and I remember, seeing his last warm up, like yo, like you good, like what's going on here? Something's off, but I mean, it wasn't even that bad, to be honest. Hold on, let me run it back. Actually, he is. I'm actually proud of him because right here, so he's got his hands in the bar. Now, real quick, like, if you like gripping the bar in your fingers like that, that's fine. You need to have a strong hands. You gotta have strong hands, and it has to be like, basically, you gotta earn trust with that grip. Like, as a coach, if somebody's gripping like that, I'm gonna be like, yo, like, why aren't you using your palm? What's the problem? And if you can hold it that way, then that's great. You're gonna cut off like an inch range of motion, and it'll be a little bit easier. I can't do that. I can, but I have like really tiny fingers, so I gotta use my palms. But he can, and you know, his grip didn't screw up. I mean, that was like literally one of my concerns. Hold on, real quick, as he sits down. Proud of him for pulling slack. You know, I always say so. Okay, get your grip set, brace, breathe. Okay, so now he's pulling some slack in the bar. Lats are tight. Uh, his hips can get a little bit lower from there, but it's all good. And that was slower than I needed it to be to think like we were gonna do any kind of 700 plus pull. But like I said, we pulled 75 minutes ago, 80 minutes ago, something like that. Um, and like on meet day, when you come into meet day, we're gonna have like all these wants. Like, I want to hit this. I want to do that. Da da da. Luckily, Russ was like, I don't care what I lift. I just want to win or do the best that I can. So whatever strength that you have on that day, the goal is to just leave it all on the platform and not tip over and not leave anything off. So you don't want to super sandbag, but you don't want to go so heavy to the point where you miss and now you're like screwed. You're just in like you're in a big hole and you kind of have to deal with this sour taste the entire day. But that didn't happen. I saw that, you know, he came off. I talked to him. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And I'm trying to remember what he said. I think he said, I don't even remember what he said, but he told me he said he just kept saying it was slow off the floor, which which is not normal for him. I don't ever remember him being slow off the ground. It's usually like somewhere midway, which you guys you'll see on his third attempt. So here we go, 650. He should be pulling way more than this. I remember him tripling this in the gym 2 preps ago, I think. But yeah, 650 here. A little bit better than the last one. Actually, I'm going to watch it one more time. So I think we only dumped 5 kilos after this. Yeah. The bar's getting out in front of him a little bit. Part of that has to do with like his legs are just so jacked that once the bar gets going, it's just gonna push the bar out in front. I mean, actually, you know what? I don't even think so because he hits his quads up here when he's done. Could have been the platform. I don't know. Something is just different. Maybe we need to get him to externally rotate his arms. So I'm glad I'm doing this video to help pull the bar back into him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it might not even be touching him. You want to have the bar as close to your body as possible. Regardless, you know, we made the adjustment to keep his back straighter to prevent him from getting hurt. So now it's just kind of like building that strength while the back is straight. But at the same time, he's so jacked, he's so powerful that he can just keep that back straight, which is going to make it harder to move the bar from the ground. Like for me personally, I have no choice. Like if my legs are gonna forever overpower my back, so once I get to anything close to this weight that he's lifting, I'm gonna round over and I'm gonna blow the weight up off the floor, and then it's just a matter of straightening my back out. So it's a weird kind of like dynamic where you want to have some rounding, but you don't want to get hurt, but you want to use it to get floor speed. It's like it's such a strange, you know, difficult thing to balance, but we're just gonna keep pulling. We're just gonna keep pulling, and I think at the end of the day, regardless of what we do, as long as he stays healthy, we will be able to, you know, get him moving. Like I said, or at Raw Nationals, he definitely had a bigger pull on him, but we were definitely just playing it safe. Same thing at the Arnold. He fought the shit out of that third pull at the Arnold. So, you know, I'm just hungry watching this meet to get to just sit in front of my screen and just make sure that he's got the best training absolute possible to get him where he needs to be. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally hit next, so I had to redo everything. But I remember talking to him after that second pull, and I just said, can you hold, if I go up another 12 pounds, can you hold it? Can you pull it? He's like, I got it. I mean, obviously he's going to be the athlete in that moment. The risk reward, you know, you're betting 10 pounds, you're betting 5 pounds to try to get 10. I'm going to do that every time. You know, especially on a pull like a deadlift. Right now in terms of placings, there's like 5 guys trying to catch Russ for second. So we actually absolutely need everything that we can. We could have very easily missed this lift and got caught. Um, but luckily, we put up a big enough squat and bench to where they couldn't catch him. Um, this is the first time I've ever seen him fail a lift on strength. Could be strength, could be just positioning. Oh, looks like he got forward on his toes a little bit. So I like doing these videos because I can see things. Yeah, right there. I actually see his heel lift up. Sorry about my dogs. Sorry about that. Dogs are wilding. But yeah, I've never seen him fail lift like that before. Um, Started out okay. I think the bar is just too far out in front of him. Just got to keep it a little bit closer. It looks like the weight is like it's about midfoot right now, and then right there he just kind of gets forward on his toes. Could have been from him shaking. I don't know. I've never seen him fail like that. We were gassed at this point. Um, very very fast meet, and at this point, like the meet's done. He had nothing left. That's Susie telling him, hey, like you're you're a young lifter. You have plenty of years. Gibbs is like 4 years older than you, 5 years older than you. He's been doing this a long time. He's been here many, many times. This is your first IPF World, second in the world. On a bad day, when Russ is on fire, I am telling you guys, like when Russ has his super meet, they were saying Joey Gibbs finally had a super meet, like you said in that podcast. When Russ has his super meet, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day, and I've seen it. I've seen the glimpses. I've seen him show what he can do in training. We've just had some adversity to go through, and that was just me telling Eric, this has been 2 years. Real quick, what up, boys? So yeah, I've seen it in his training. I know what he can do. I literally, like, in my mind, I have a number in my head. But we gotta just get there. I know he's capable. I know he's absolutely capable. I know he's gonna give every little effort that he can to follow what I give him. It's just we just need to stay healthy. I'm doing some next level things right now with this training just to kind of prepare him for what's coming. And I'm really excited to just blow it back up and see what he can evolve into. I know he's an inspiration to you guys. He is he's just a great positive dude, and he's like helping guide so many people with his message. And I think like he says, get better today. We're getting better today. We're getting better tomorrow. We're getting better every day. So is this young man right here. These two pushing each other. That's the great thing about having them on the same team, is that they are both like they're brothers, but at the same time they want to beat each other. But it's all love at the end of the day. They're just pushing each other to be the best that they possibly can be. And I think that's amazing. I think that's rare. I think that's insane. And that's why we're gonna keep bringing the heat every year. So going back to, let's roll it back a second and get him in the shot. I just want to say thanks to Eric. This is 2 years now that he's been in the pit with us, kind of loading and just helping out with Worlds, and just making sure everything's smooth. And I appreciate having him around, just because I don't like he could deal with some of the formal stuff, and then I could just be me. And I think at this Worlds, that was one of the best things about this Worlds, was that I could be myself. The coaches gave me freedom to do my thing, and I didn't have to worry about anything really, but just my lifter. And that's all that I can ever ask whenever I need to work with other people, is just let me do my thing so that my lifters can do their thing. And they didn't get in the way of that, and I'm very thankful for that. So again, while Russ talks here with no audio, some of the takeaways: the taper on squat worked great. Bench training was phenomenal. His setup was I was telling him on the day, his setup was amazing. Everything was on point. You know, technique wise on squat, we just got to learn to control a little bit better. But the footing is great. Everything is there on those two. Just little things to tweak on squat, and then on deadlift, you know, I think we just gotta just fucking not get hurt, and you know, I am gonna give him some little thing. I am giving him things right now to work on. I'm setting him up for some accessories that I think are gonna help translate over to his conventional pull. You know, and I'm just really excited to see what we can throw up at nationals. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one for sure. There's some milestones that I want him to hit, and I think that's gonna help just kind of build us momentum into, you know, whatever we do after that. But that being said, I hope you guys are able to take something away from this video. Like I said, you know, just hold on, let's roll it out to, where's that nice little, bam. By the way, these shirts are dropping soon. I don't know when he's dropping them, but I need to get one because I fell asleep on it and I didn't get one last time. But anyway, I hope you guys are able to take something away from this video. Thank you so much if you made it this far. I really, really appreciate you guys. You know, the coaches' corners are always fun to me because it can kind of explain what's going on. Everybody sees things from the inside or from the outside, but this kind of gives you a behind the scenes of you know, some of my thoughts and what we were going through. But we're gonna keep it moving. Let me get a hashtag get better today in the comments down below if you made it this far. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm gonna have an informative video coming up soon, and we're like 16 17 weeks out from Raw National, so plenty of time to bring the heat, plenty of time to build these boys up, put on a show. But alrighty guys, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.